Welcome to IPOB Rapture Media. IPOB press release the 20th of February 2024. IPOB bans Nigeria hunger protests in Biafra land. Following the unprecedented hardship in the contraption called Nigeria, we, the global family and movement of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, ably led by the great leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, hereby caution the people of Biafra not to join any Nigerianists to protest against hunger in Nigeria in any Biafran territory. Any Nigerian agent who dares to organize any protest in Biafra land will regret it. The current hardship in Nigeria should be the concern of Nigerians, not Biafrans. Biafrans are no longer interested in the affairs of Nigeria. Biafrans were abused, intimidated, beaten and killed, and denied voting rights during the election of this present government. Ndigbo were told to wait that it is their turn to rule, not the turn of Ndigbo. The aftermath of the fraudulent elections was the demolition of Ndigbo's properties and investments in the west and northern parts of the zoo called Nigeria. Has anyone or groups organized a protest against the demolition of Ndigbo's properties in the west and north? Anyone who organized any protest against economic hardship in Biafra land will put Biafrans in danger. During the #EndSARS protest, the Nigerian government and their agents like ex-Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike accused Ndigbo of attempting to destroy Nigeria with violence that ensued, making sure that his masters won't tag him an Igbo man. We don't want such profiling and targeting to repeat because of Ndigbo's participation in any Nigerian mass protest. Biafrans should leave the current economic hardship in the contraption called Nigeria for Nigerians to deal with, because this hardship is what God Almighty Chukwu Okike Abiyama has in stock for Nigeria, for the crimes they have committed against Biafrans between 1967 to 1970 and up to date. We understand that Biafrans are equally affected by the economic hardship arising from the reckless and thoughtless economic policies of Emilokon, but God Almighty Chukwu Okike Abiyama is still seeing Biafrans through. We are worried about the suffering of other tribes, but there is nothing we can do. The current situation is why Biafrans are fighting for freedom. Nevertheless, we must apply wisdom. Biafrans have gone far for Biafra restoration independence, and it must materialize very soon. Biafrans have gone through the worst economic crisis and emerged victoriously during their planned war of annihilation against the Igbo race. During the genocidal war between 1967 and 1970, Nigerian soldiers went house to house to annihilate Biafrans. The government placed food and salt embargo on Biafrans. After the genocidal war, the Nigeria government placed further economic strangulation on Biafrans by giving us only £20 to start life over in their Nigeria. What a wicked policy! God Almighty Chukwu Okike Abiyama is rewarding Nigeria and Nigerians who participated in the tribal war of annihilation against the people of God Almighty. We have had and continue to have our share amount of economic hardship imposed on Ndigbo by Nigeria. By the grace of Eze Chukwu Okike Abiyama, we shall also triumph over the current Imilokon's imposed economic hardship. When eating in the same pot with an enemy, you must use a very long spoon. That long spoon is what Ndigbo requires at a time like this, and to focus on the ball because Ndigbo are hated in Nigeria. Anyone or group that wants to organize a protest for Nigeria hardship should kindly go to the northern or western Nigeria and stage such protest there. Our region is battling the state-sponsored insecurity, kidnappings and killings by the Nigeria government's agencies and agents, including Fulani terrorists. We have much in our hands to do. We will not allow anyone or any group to use the arrangement of protests to import more agents of destabilization into our territory. ESN is ready to take on the government's agents who will want to organize hunger protests in Biafra land. Therefore, the IPOB intelligence unit must be on high alert to identify those planning to destabilize Biafra land with senseless Nigeria hunger protests. But Biafrans will come out of this one too unscathed. We will see how serious Nigerians are and how well they are handling the protest. Biafrans should call IPOB's inquiry lines if any person or group are found planning to stage a Nigerian hunger protest in our territory. If we catch anyone organizing hunger protests in Biafra land, they will have ESN operatives and IPOB volunteers to contend with, and the person will smell pepper. Biafrans should allow Nigerians to carry their cross, because if we do, Chukwu Okike Abiyama will be annoyed with us. Our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Okuchukwu Kanu, prophetically told about these things that are happening today in Nigeria, and Biafrans should stay calm, resolute and unbreakable, because the situation will be over soon in our favor. Great Biafrans, our CHI is alive. Comrade Emma, Powerful Media and Publicity Secretary for Ipob.